I love it. I'm gonna take one little sip.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the coffee.
Mhm.
Gives me a life.
Oh my gosh, it gives me this is my 3rd one of the day.
Oh, yeah, I think same.
I will rip it. All right, guys, welcome back to Navigating Between the Lines. My name is Maggie, your host. Okay, today's episode is one of those where I'm like, why have I never done this before? Because today we are getting into women's health, the real version, pregnancy, miscarriages, fertility, all the things we don't always say out loud, and definitely Google at 2 a.m. And I brought in someone who has literally seen me at my most vulnerable. Like, really, there's no secrets here. And Dr. Sara DeNolf, who I will call Sarah, but just know she's a real OB and she has also seen my vagina. So we are starting there. Sarah, welcome. I'm so excited you're here because I feel like women talk about all this stuff all the time in a group chat or whatever, but we don't actually know anything. Just a quick reminder, you guys, this is an educational and general information only. She's a doctor. I'm not. This does not constitute as a patient-doctor relationship, and you would need to consult your own physician for any medical advice. Okay, I'm going to dive right in. And just to say it, some of this gets a little heavier, but also remember we're all navigating these things, and it's what a lot of women are quietly carrying. So, welcome to Navigating Between the Lines.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Before we go on a deep dive, I just wanted you to tell me what's the most common question you get in your office?
Oh my goodness. Number one most common. Is fill in the blank normal? And it's almost always, yes, it is normal. I think like women in general are so hard on themselves and critical on themselves. And
Yeah.
so they are always coming in wondering if this smell is normal, if this feeling is normal, if this amount of something is normal, is the way I'm feeling about something normal. And it's always like, yes, your experience that can be normal. How can we help you navigate that?
And like such a wide range, right? Like that's
Yes.
the biggest thing. Even when I was sitting down thinking about this, if you like line up all your friends, everybody probably
Yes.
has a different body, a different experience, a
Yes,
different
exactly
story.
right, and everyone tries to fit themselves into one thing that they think they should be, but it's
Yeah.
like, you can be who you are, it's okay.
Okay. What's something women worry about that they do not need to?
Oh, this is a great question. I'm really passionate about this. In my office specifically, okay, we'll do if you come to see me and then a diagnosis, okay? If
Okay.
you come to see me, we do not care if you shaved or if your socks are mismatched or any of that. I promise you. I always tell like my friends when we're at dinner and they're worried about this, or if I'm talking to a patient and then I'm like, we should do an exam. And they're like, whoa, I was not prepared for this.
Yeah.
It's like, it is fine. I promise if I left a room and someone was like, can you describe the pubic hair on that person? I couldn't do it. That's just not what we're focused on.
That
It
is
is
so
okay.
funny because, oh my gosh, no, yeah, I would for sure say that. I probably have said that in my life today. Yeah.
It's totally fine. The socks are mismatched. That is also fine. It is all good. It does not matter. We don't
That's
care.
hilarious.
Or I'll say if something is bleeding, that is fine. I say to
Yeah.
people so many times, like, I knew that this organ bled when I signed up for this. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. We're
Yeah.
just here to kind of help and see.
And you
And
see
then
everything.
yeah. And if you want to talk from a diagnosis perspective, like the things that I just feel like people worry so much about, and it just makes me sad sometimes because it really is okay. We're going to help you manage it, and it's everywhere. There's two specific things. One is HPV,
Oh,
HPV with an abnormal pap, and things we have to manage with that.
yeah.
The second would be herpes. So many times in my office, I'm like, listen, everyone's got it. It's
Stop.
fine. There's nothing wrong with you. So many women, especially, are like, I'm like, dirty. I should have done something different to protect myself against these things. And it's like, no. HPV, especially, 80% of sexually active people have HPV. So, really, unless you're going to not have sex,
Yeah.
you might be exposed to it. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's okay. The important part of both these things are you're seeing us and we can help you manage these things. But people do just feel so awful about these things. And I'm constantly trying to reassure people, like,
I
do
mean,
not feel
5
that.
minutes and you're blowing my mind already. So I like, that's amazing. Okay. Well, I would
Like,
not
it's
know that.
okay.
Yeah. All right. I was at lunch with a friend. This is a few weeks ago. And we got into this conversation about getting pregnant
Hmm.
after miscarriage, um, and just how different that experience is for everyone.
Totally.
Some women are like, "Okay, like, we're gonna try again."
Mhm.
Some are terrified. Some don't even know if they can try again. This is where it gets a little heavier for a minute.
Mhm.
How common is miscarriage, and do we always know that it's happening?
That's a great question. I think especially because newer pregnancy tests and, like, the availability of checking your beta HCGs earlier and things like this, people find out they're pregnant more than they did in the past, if that makes sense.
Let's
So
just, like, go back really quick, like,
yeah.
beta HCG, that's the well, like,
That's that yeah, it's a good question. That's
okay.
that hormone you can check to find out if you are pregnant.
Yeah, okay, so
So
that's if you pee on a stick,
yes, that's what
it's
it's detecting, that in your urine.
okay.
Yep, and people will get that tested at their doctor more frequently now than they used to
Okay.
also. So sometimes people will see like a faint line or will get a very small level on their blood work, and then that'll end up fading away. And we call that kind of a chemical pregnancy. So it's like the hormones were like starting, like there was a
Mhm.
start of a pregnancy, but it ended very quickly. But there wasn't an actual fetus like pregnancy material, that kind of stuff. So it just kind of resolves itself rather than needing management from us. So I think people are more aware of losses in general,
Yeah,
whether they be like miscarriage or chemical pregnancies because of that. The ability to test is so much better now than it used to
because
be.
I guess would you say do you think people find out on average sooner?
Yeah,
Okay, did
in
you
general.
this is just like a random thought. Did you ever watch that show, like, I Didn't Know I Was
Oh
Pregnant?
yeah, such a great show.
Oh my but I always was like, "How what?" I
I
could
know.
never imagine that how would you never know that you're pregnant?
It's
Anyway,
amazing. I've seen it. I've seen it in real life.
it that's probably a whole nother
Yeah,
episode.
different.
Is there anything you wish women understood about miscarriage that we might just not talk about enough?
Yes, I think women just blame themselves so much. And like a miscarriage happens 25% of the time.
Okay.
And almost always the reason is, and we can't always test this or find it out definitively, is because the way the genetics came together to form that baby was not successful. And your body detects that and then disposes of the pregnancy or terminates the pregnancy physiologically. And
Mhm.
that's almost always the reason. But when I see people in the office, and I always say this as part of my miscarriage counseling, I always say it's like the most important thing for you to know is like, you didn't do anything to cause this. This is
Mhm.
not your fault. It's like being on the wrong side of statistics this
Ugh.
time. And I have heard it all of what people always have something in the back of their mind, like a workout class or that glass of wine I had before I knew I was pregnant. Or once someone was like, I went whitewater rafting, like
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's like that did not cause this.
Right.
It's important that I wish like people really did believe that more. It really is true.
Well, the mind's a crazy place, and
Oh, for
you
sure.
said that you probably do become the therapist in those situations a little bit, right? What do you see from the husbands,
Oh
if
my goodness.
anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great question too. I think like a huge variety. I don't always see them. Sometimes like people are there without partners.
Yeah.
Other times like partners are really sad. Sometimes they're both so sad. I've seen patients there with their moms and sometimes people are mad.
Mhm.
You know, there's a wide variety of emotions. I think a lot of times, sometimes when I see people for miscarriage, they know before they come in, but a lot of times what happens is they're in my office for a scan and we find out and it's quite a shock.
Sure.
So, like, really sitting with people in that space, you get every reaction, and that's okay, you know?
Ugh, that's horrible for you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's
You're
horrible.
used to
Well,
it, but, like, it's like
yeah.
that's not a great part of your job. What I think to further on that question, what would
Mhm,
you tell a patient to let maybe, like, their partner in on?
mhm. I tell patients in general, and I think I hope that the spillover is, like, for the people in their lives, especially if they're not there, to just be, like, kind to themselves.
Yeah.
I usually say it really doesn't matter how long you were pregnant, like, you had hopes and dreams and, like, a plan for this baby,
Yeah.
and it takes a minute to mourn that,
Yeah.
and also, you're usually resolving the pregnancy physically somehow, whether we're treating you medically or surgically or your body's doing it, and I really believe, after watching so many women go through this, that it takes time to heal emotionally and that you really need to heal physically first. And so it's a two-step process, and the amount of time it takes for everyone is different.
Mhm.
And you might not be ready to try again right away. I think partners find that surprising sometimes,
Mhm.
and it's just different when you are the one that experiences it physically. I think you
Yeah.
just feel that so differently.
Yeah. I feel like I was, like, getting kinda, like, emotional there. I feel like we could
Yeah.
sit that's a conversation we could sit in for a long time,
Mhm.
but I also wanna zoom out for a second because I feel like there's so much information about women's health in general, and we said it at the beginning, everybody's bodies are different. So I wanna do a section called "What Your OB Actually Wishes Women Knew," because I feel like there's so much we think we understand and then we just don't. Okay, so are painful periods actually normal, or have we been just told that they are?
You know what? I think this is the trickiest question. It is so hard because I don't ever wanna tell someone like, yes, being in pain is normal. However, when you have a period and your body is releasing all those prostaglandins, like, it can be uncomfortable
Mhm.
and you can have cramping, and people experience that in different ways. So I think some discomfort with your period can be normal. I think when it becomes abnormal or you should do something about it is when it really starts interfering with your life. So,
I mean, personally,
mhm.
as I've gotten older, and I know I've texted you about this on the side. Sorry about that, I know that's annoying.
No, it's all good.
But I feel like every few months, my periods, like, I have the worst cramps, and I also bleed, like I'm like, "Am I should I be bleeding this much?" For
Yeah,
the
no,
first, like,
you should not.
24, 36 hours, I'm like, "Where am I?" Like, I no, I
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like,
yeah.
is that would you say, quote, "normal" or not
No,
normal?
no.
Okay, well,
I don't know how personal you wanna
we
get
can
here, but,
follow
the
up on
amount
that.
of bleeding that you've been having is
It's
not
not
normal.
normal. Like, if
However,
I'm changing, like, a
yeah,
Super Plus tampon
mhm,
every hour.
not normal.
Okay.
And I will say this, so and I tell patients this when I'm trying to convince them, like, you should treat these things because there seems
Did you
to
guys know we were gonna get so deep? Like, we were gonna talk about all the things. If you're uncomfortable with any of this stuff, sorry.
Should have a warning, this is graphic,
This is a
apparently.
little graphic.
Spotify's gonna give us, like, an
Yeah, like, I
additional warning.
if my dad's listening, like, just to turn it off now.
It's so great, though, like, I love normalizing these things, which is the best part of
100%.
my job. And I tell patients this all the time, is, like, I myself had periods that were far too heavy outside of what should have been normal, and I did not realize this until I was a board-certified OB-GYN. I mean, like, that's how far in my career I got when I was like, "Oh my goodness, I had menorrhagia this whole time. My periods were bananas." It's
What's it
just
called?
menorrhagia, that's when you
Menopause.
bleed more than you probably should.
I've
And
never heard that word.
it doesn't always mean there's something, like, wrong with you,
Yeah.
we look at those things, we do an ultrasound, we make sure there's not a structural issue, we check a thyroid. It's good to make sure there's nothing that we need to fix, but sometimes we don't find anything, you still have heavy periods, and we just need to treat those.
Okay.
And I can say from personal experience, it's worth it when you start
Yeah.
treating them. But
Well,
yes.
we're gonna come back to that. Birth control.
Yes.
Are most women on the right one for them, or is typically, like, there's just one you typically
No,
get?
there's so many.
Okay.
That's I think that women, not to, like, say everyone, but I think in general right now, there seems to be this feeling like people use birth control as a whole big entity, then they like, "I don't want to do anything with birth control," and they'll kinda put it all in the same box.
Okay.
But birth control has so many options now, and some are hormonal, some are non-hormonal. Some of the hormones are estrogen and progesterone, some are just progesterone, some are different doses, different amounts throughout your cycle. Some, like an IUD, will just act, like, not very systemically,
Mhm.
others are. There's things for people who can take pills every day, for people who can't. There's implants, there's NuvaRing. I mean, there's so many different options and different doses.
Yeah.
I do wish more people, like, engage with that conversation a little bit more or understand, like, if they want a pill and they're trying one and it's not working well for them, there's probably a lot of other options we can try.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, let's talk about sex
All right.
hormones really quick. After kids, especially, what happens to your body sexually that no one warns you about?
All right, this is one of my favorite things too, okay?
Okay.
This is my my favorite. I try to tell everyone when I see them postpartum because no one talks about this. So, especially if you're breastfeeding, but even sometimes if you're not, but especially in breastfeeding, the hormones that you need to breastfeed will also make your vagina really dry and
Yeah.
sex really uncomfortable. And I think that was probably evolutionary to like protect us against another pregnancy while we're taking care of this new baby and all of that.
You guys, I had this after Chloe. It was
Yeah.
like knives
Yes.
in my vagina.
And I don't think people talk about it. I don't think friends talk about it much.
No, because it's, like, embarrassing or, like, you
Yes,
think, like, "Oh, I should be
I
my
should be.
my husband or this," or
Yes.
there's all these other things that
Yes.
go into it.
There's so much of the postpartum period that is, I should be fill in the blank, right? And
Yeah.
I think this is just part of it. You know, you go through pregnancy and you want to get back to normal. And a big part of that is your sex life. You want your sex life to go back to normal, and suddenly everything hurts. It's really can be devastating and make it just tougher to feel like yourself after you have a baby, which is a huge challenge, anyways, right?
Mhm.
So, a big thing that can be helpful in that period is using a little like vaginal estrogen, which it's great.
Yeah, no,
which
it's just that, vaginal is the word.
We're normalizing it here,
I
Max.
know, I
Let's
love
do
it, I love it, I love it, I love it.
Yeah, and you can use over-the-counter vaginal moisturizers too. There it is again. I'm just trying to give it to
Yeah,
you there.
it's great.
But vaginal estrogen, I think, like works the best for this setting, and it's very easy. It's like a couple times a week, and that can be life-changing for people
Yeah.
for this postpartum. And I just don't think that it's talked about enough.
No, I wish I knew that
Yeah,
10 years ago
for sure.
because it was,
And I think it's something no one really taught me when I was in residency. Like I kind of learned as I was practicing. Like I just
totally,
don't think many people discuss it enough.
for sure. Okay. Um, what's something trending right now that you're like, "Please stop"?
All right, that's a great question. Um, I think, well, to kind of like bring things out wide, it's just people without expertise who are claiming to have expertise and then trying to sell you something.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is everywhere right now. And it kind of preys on what we were just talking, like, as a woman, you should be fill in the blank.
Mhm.
They'll say, okay, at this age, you should be doing XYZ or
Oh,
feeling this way. And then also, like, here's a supplement that you can have
well,
to
a
help you
2
do
AM
that.
Google, and then you're targeted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm really happy that, especially like the last 5 years or so, like, especially menopause and perimenopause and all those changes are getting like the buzz that they're getting and a little bit more research funding. And
Mhm.
we're doing really important things like um, taking the black box warning off of estrogens and making hormones more accessible to women going through that in this country. That's all wonderful. But there's a lot of people on social media who are like taking that and then kind of taking it a little bit too far and trying to
Yeah.
sell random things or again like just kind of preying on how vulnerable women are and how hard we are on ourselves.
100%. No, I can agree with that
Yeah.
in a lot of avenues. Okay, what's something about postpartum that shocks women every time?
That was the same answer I
The
had, the
sex.
dry sex, yeah. But also
Can we just,
yeah.
like, talk about, like, if you're pregnant right now or you've like, the first time I feel like the first time you have sex after you have a baby,
Yeah,
and
it's
would you agree
scary.
with this? It's like I feel like it's, like, worse than, like, losing your virginity.
It's just really scary. Like,
So scary.
here's a question for you.
Oh,
What do you think is more scary, postpartum, when you have your first poop or first time you have sex?
I I
I think they're both scary.
I think they're both scary. I think actually I can remember with William, remember he was
Yeah,
a preemie, so I was pumped full
yeah.
with all these, like, steroids and
Uh-huh.
all this stuff, um, and I had to go to the bathroom
Mhm.
before they would let me leave, and it was I'm not
Yeah.
even going to it. It was worse. That was worse, I think. It was horrible.
Yeah, it's stressful. These things are
People
all
don't talk
stressful.
about that, really.
No, they don't.
You're welcome for that
No.
story.
Yeah, we can edit all that out. No.
I'm gonna definitely keep it.
The other thing I think, like, women and I think people are talking more about this, but, like, postpartum, everything just takes time.
Oh,
Like, it takes time for you to learn how to take care of a baby. If you're going back to work, it takes time for you to learn how to do that and take
Mhm.
care of a baby. Your body takes so much time to go back to not I don't like saying go back to normal, but like
Yeah, back
to
to
a place where you feel like yourself.
totally.
And I think that's true of like every aspect, and parts of you are never the same.
Well, I think I don't know if it's trending, like, for you or what you see, but I feel like a lot of stuff I see right now is, like, if I could go back to when my kids were little but feel like I feel now,
Oh, sure.
you know? And
Yeah.
I'm like but it's so true because
Yeah.
when you have some people, it can experience that, like, no anxiety, and they're just in this, like, motherhood
Yeah.
bubble, and then there's other people like me that are
Yeah.
as, like, a lunatic,
Well,
like, in the mind. No, like, in my mind,
yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh, if I only had a quiet mind during some of
Sure.
that time." I mean, it was, like, great or whatever, but yeah, anyway,
Yeah, it's stressful.
it is very stressful. What symptoms do this is like 30s, 40s, aging,
Mhm.
kinda like going through all this stuff. What symptoms do women brush off that are actually tied to maybe like a hormone imbalance?
Okay. Um, I gotta think about how to answer this because
Loaded question.
yeah, well, I have like I'm hesitant to call it like a hormonal imbalance because your hormones are constantly fluctuating throughout the month, every month as you cycle. And this is what you're going to have most of the time in your 30s, unless you have a bigger issue where you're not cycling, which
Mhm,
it's always important if you're not cycling, not on contraception or anything, to see a doctor for that.
mhm.
But as you get into your 40s and closer to menopause, which average age in this country is 51,
Okay, I didn't
um,
know that.
as you get closer to that, you can go through times where cycles and things get more erratic, irregular, unpredictable because you're having cycles that sometimes don't ovulate. Sometimes you're ovulating multiple follicles. They can be irregular, kind of like teenage cycles is how I think about it. A lot of us, when we're teenagers and we have our first cycles, they're maybe heavier, irregular, that kind of stuff. That can happen in the perimenopausal period too.
Mhm.
So it's a great time to see us if you're starting to have those menstrual irregularities, or if you start to have all of those menopause and perimenopausal type symptoms that you hear about, such as like hot flashes, irritability, sleep disturbance,
Okay,
all of that stuff can kind of go together during that phase.
okay. That's good to know. Um, okay, think about this for a second. If every woman listening, wide range of
Geez, no
ages,
pressure.
yeah, if they could sit in your office for 5 minutes, what would you want to tell her?
Oh, man. Um, I want 2 things, okay? 5 minutes, we could do it too, 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, yeah.
The first is kind of encompassing, I feel like that's been the theme of today, like,
Everything's
it's
normal?
okay. Like, yeah, you're okay. You don't have to put yourself in this box. You don't have to be anything,
Okay, yeah,
Women are like, "Should I be doing this or that? Am I, just pining off, like, our sex conversation? Am I having enough sex? Am I having too
yeah,
little sex? Should it be this way? Should it be that way? Should"
totally.
It's
No,
like,
every
be who
topic
you
can go
are.
in this. Yep,
Yes,
for sure.
exactly.
Okay,
Who you are is probably okay?
okay.
And then the second part of it, just riffing off of the stuff you just talked about and like being someone who's just entered their 40s, and I'm talking to a lot of women now that my patient population is like entering that decade,
Yeah.
is the best thing that you can do for yourself going into the next 10, 15 years, perimenopause, menopause, this phase of life, is you made it through probably like having these small babies, your career, whatever it was. Now is a really good time to take care of yourself. And I have this conversation with people a lot where the best thing you can do for these symptoms are very difficult, but very simple. They're
Mhm.
like sleep enough, like limit alcohol, watch what you're I know,
Yeah.
it's rough. I love an espresso martini too, okay? Kinda was sad we're doing this in the morning.
I know.
No, it's tough, but it's true. That's why I say it's not easy, they're
Totally.
just simple. Exercise,
Yep.
getting enough water. I can never drink enough water, it's always coffee for me,
Yeah.
These things, they have a lot of data behind them that they help you feel better in the next 10 to 20 years. So the most that you can do now that you have a little bit more time theoretically or energy, like you were
Mhm.
saying for yourself now in this phase of life,
Yeah.
is help develop whatever habits you can to help keep yourself feeling good for the next 20 years.
Okay. I think that's a really good answer. Okay. Um, definitely, like, segmented this out. I kinda, like it, but now I wanna go into, like, what I would call the group chat questions
Mm,
or, like, maybe it doesn't even have to be a group, but what you would text maybe like some friend. What is the average age you're seeing for pregnancy right now?
That's a great question. I know the average age is increasing in general. I don't know the exact age off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's always getting older though,
Yeah.
for sure. And then for me personally, like your patients kind of age with you. So like I am seeing more people who are older who are pregnant because that's where I
Mhm.
am in my career.
Yeah.
I mean, we still see a lot of like younger people too, but just personally, yeah, I would say it's not uncommon to be pregnant in your late 30s. People hate that diagnosis, like advanced maternal age.
Well, that was my next
So
question. Why is 35 considered
yeah.
geriatric? Because I feel like women are just getting started at
For
that age
sure.
now.
Well, that's the first thing I say to people who I can tell are like really nervous about that label or whatever. And I'm like, girl, who isn't? Like,
Yeah.
it's everyone's.
Right.
Because you had to live your whole life. Like, and I usually say, that label is just a diagnosis that this country, that is driven by healthcare that's reimbursed by insurance companies and stuff, decided that at that age, the risk is enough that they'll pay for more testing in pregnancy, right?
Mhm.
We're all on this graph of risk, and we should have all had babies down here when we're 17, and that's the lowest risk time to have babies, like probably 17 to 19 physiologically.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's like
No one
we're
could do
raising
that.
daughters, Sarah.
Yeah,
Like,
so we gotta be on this curve somewhere, right?
yeah.
And 35 just happens to be the point on the curve where the risk is increased enough that we've decided we'll pay for some more testing. That's it. It's not like 34, you're super safe, and 36 is really risky.
Which you'd want that, right? Like
Yes,
there's benefit
exactly.
in having more
And I tell people
testing.
too, like, I care far more about your general health than I do
Mhm.
about where you are on that graph. Like, like how is your health otherwise? What
Well, yeah.
other.
And I feel like you said, to normalize it. I mean, I'm 39. Just mention my age a lot here, but I have friends who have just had babies
100%.
trying to conceive. Then
Mhm.
you have like people who their kids are going, they're in high
Yes.
school and going to college. It's like all over. There's no
Yeah,
correct way to do it. You just has to be on your own timeline.
for sure.
Okay. How long should it actually take to get pregnant before you worry?
All right, that's a good question too, a little bit complex. Like, I think the textbook thing for me to say is if you're under the age of 30, it's normal for you to take up to a year to get pregnant,
Okay.
okay? If you're over the age of 30, we say, come see us after about 6 months. But fertility in general, when you want to do more testing, be more aggressive, maybe have intervention, all of that stuff is optional.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of when you wanna kinda move forward with that stuff is personal too. So,
Such a hard mental game. I feel like
for
when
sure.
we're younger, we're like ingrained, like you have sex, you're gonna get pregnant.
I know it,
So
right?
you're so nervous, and
Yeah.
then you get married, and then you're like ready to. And there's a lot of women right now that have fertility
Mhm.
issues,
Yeah.
right?
And fertility decreases as we age, and
Mhm.
so we're all waiting longer to get pregnant, so we are seeing more and more of that.
What's something women blame themselves that
Everything.
isn't their fault? Okay. Okay.
It's not their fault.
Yeah. It's not their
No,
fault.
women blame themselves so much. It's like, I think that's probably the biggest battle I'm trying to fight every day is like I said earlier, like, this HPV is not your fault. This
Mhm.
miscarriage is not your fault. This is not
Mhm.
your fault. There's nothing wrong with you that landed you in whatever situation might bring you to my office. It's not your fault.
Yeah. What do you wish women knew maybe before they start trying?
That it can take a year or
That it
6
can
months.
take
It
a
takes
year.
some time.
You're not
Yeah.
just gonna like, we're gonna
Yeah.
what's the slogan? We're gonna pop the goalie. What is it? We're gonna move the
Oh,
goalie.
pull the
We're gonna
goalie.
pull the goalie.
Yeah.
Let's go back to fertility a little bit. Do you have any theories on why you feel like that might be rising? Or is it
I really just think it's primarily, well, 2 big things.
yeah.
One is we're talking about it more, and
Okay.
it's more of a common thing to bring up amongst friends and things like that. Like,
Yeah.
it definitely was more taboo to talk about even 10 years ago, I'm thinking, like, around my groups of friends?
Sure.
So people are talking about it more, there's more awareness, which is wonderful. And then the second part is just women are waiting longer
Mhm.
because they're building lives, careers, whatever it may be,
Mhm.
taking longer to find a partner. So as you wait longer, it's higher chance that you're gonna have fertility issues.
And, just from like a friendship standpoint, what would you say or what do you hear the most? Like, what do you think, the women who is maybe taking a little bit longer, what do they need from their friends? Because, or that you would see?
Yeah, that's a really great question too, and that can be highly variable
Mhm.
because I think some people are very stoic and pragmatic about the whole process and
Yeah.
are just like, all right, we're gonna do next step, next step, next step. And then some people are like quite emotional every month when they are finding out they aren't pregnant. I think that's going to be a different answer for everyone. My hope would be that if you're close with someone who's going through this, you kind of know what they need. I don't know to this day really if I should ask her now if I handled this well or not. But I remember when I got pregnant the first time, one of the biggest reasons I decided to get pregnant at that time, I was still a resident and I did not think I was going to do that in residency, was I had a close friend who was just going through years of so much
Mhm.
fertility issues. And I started to think, wow, like I'm 30 now. Maybe I should at least try in case I'm looking at a few years of this in
Yeah.
my future. And then I ended up getting pregnant immediately. So what I did with her is I can't remember if it was a text or an email, but it was like not a face to face conversation where I said, I want to give you some space to process this. I just found out I was pregnant, and I mean, she was thrilled for me, of course,
Yeah.
but I knew that that would probably be hard news for
Really
her. So
hard
I
for her.
think understanding what the people in your life need at least a little bit from support wise.
Yeah. Is freezing your eggs something you're seeing more of?
Yes.
And
Finally, I would say.
okay, who should actually be thinking about that?
So theoretically, anyone who is considering pushing off pregnancy and who has the means to do it should do it. Also, like,
Is there like an ideal age or like I
oh,
no.
sure. And I mean, as soon as you can.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
No, for sure.
like any before 35 would be great if we can get those eggs before 35. And really, I'm not a fertility specialist, so I
Okay.
might be, miss saying some things here, but closer to 30 would probably even be better. If you can
Mhm.
have like your eggs from your late 20s would be wonderful. People who should freeze their eggs are people who aren't sure they want a child bear, but know it's going to be a little bit in the future and who have the means. Or there's a lot of employers now that offer some financial assistance or benefits to help take care of this. Like if you had that as part of
So
your
it like
plans.
shouldn't be a thing, right? Like that's I think the biggest
Mm-hmm.
it's not
It
like,
still
oh,
really is.
you're
Yeah.
freezing your eggs or it's
Yeah. It's
something
smart, I think.
okay.
Yep, it's a difficult process, I
Mhm.
don't wanna think about it like, "Oh, it's super easy, just run on over." It's a
Totally.
difficult process, but I think it's really smart to be thinking of.
Okay. All right, let's debunk some things. Um maybe you already answered this, but biggest myth about getting pregnant.
That it happens fast
Okay.
for everyone, or
Big
that it happens long for everyone actually, because I
yeah.
think, like, people live on either side of that spectrum depending on who their friends are, what happened.
No, for sure. Biggest mistake women make when trying to conceive.
I don't know. I don't know if I have a good answer for that one.
I'll tell you, I would take a million pregnancy tests like day one. Like,
Oh.
even though knowing nothing would be there, I'd be like, okay, 2 days later, I'd be like, let's just see. Let's see if this, no,
It's
really.
common.
Yeah.
I know. I would say along those lines, this is not a mistake, but, like, you do not need to lay with your feet up.
No, that's good. Yeah.
People love that one.
People love that
You
one.
don't you don't have to do that, it's okay.
Oh, that's good. Okay. What's something women worry about that actually doesn't matter as much as they think? I know you said everything, but let's take it. Should we relate it to pregnancy or just do you have
I
another
mean,
answer?
I think the biggest thing is, like, hygiene when you come to see us.
Okay.
We do not care.
Okay. Something TikTok says that drives you insane.
It's a whole different episode.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Everything.
I just don't like when they, try to put everything in a box. Like,
Yeah.
one TikTok person will be like, "All hormones are bad, you need to stay away from them." Another TikTok person's like, "Everyone needs to be on hormones and no one's doing," like, all
Yeah.
the extremes,
You gotta
you know?
just like tune out the noise.
Yeah.
Okay. See, those are all really good answers. Also, I would say, I'm fascinated by your job, right, by
It
your
is
life.
wild.
Because did I ever tell you that I wanted to be an OB? Did I
You
tell you this?
you did tell me that that one time you almost delivered a baby in my office.
Yes, I was gonna get to that. But you guys, I don't know if I told you guys this,
I'm
but
sorry we couldn't make that happen for you.
I know, I took Chem 103 in college and I was like, yeah, I'm out. It was like the first 15 minutes,
Fair
but
enough.
yeah,
Smart to know.
but I'm fascinated
Yeah.
like by that. Like I feel like as a young age, I always was like pretending to deliver babies, like like weird, right?
No,
Probably.
I love it.
Okay. How many babies did you deliver last year?
Okay, that's a great question. I have no idea. I tried to look at my EMR. I couldn't tell. I don't know.
What?
I will say this. I'm on call like 4 to 6 days a month where I do like 12-hour shifts and I deliver babies, and I probably deliver between like 1 and 5 a shift.
5
I
babies?
delivered 3 babies yesterday, 12 hours. Yeah.
Look at you. Okay, so we don't know, but a
A
lot.
lot. Yeah. At the end of residency, I think I was between like 5 and 600, and that was 10 years ago.
Oh my word.
It's wild. It's a lot.
That's a lot. What does a normal week like even look like for you? Like I
Yeah.
want to talk about job wise.
There is no normal week, but
Okay.
I actually do like that about my job. Like this week, I was in the office 2 days, and then I had 1 day of operating where I did hysterectomies and took out tubes and things like that. And then I had 1 day in the hospital yesterday where I was delivering babies, and then today I'm off.
Okay.
Next week, I think I have 2 office days, and then I have a night shift, and then I work the holiday weekend. Every week is different, but I kind of like that
Thrive
irregularity.
with that.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm kind of that way too. I mean, not with my OB job, but just with with the
Yeah,
schedule. I don't
yeah,
like a regular schedule.
yeah.
So how many hours are you working?
That kinda changes quite a bit too.
Okay. Like what's
So
the most hours?
oh geez, like, if I have, like, 3 calls and a couple of office days in a week, which I'm trying to not do anymore, I'm trying to have a more humane schedule even on my busy weeks, then I'll probably work, like, 55 hours or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still love it?
Most of the time, yes.
Okay.
I do. I love the work.
Yep.
Like, I love the work. I have always been, like, a feminist at heart, so being in a place where I can empower women, give
Yeah.
them choices, make them feel safe, make them feel supported is, like, delightful.
Top. Yep.
Always the best. But it is very tough,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard. You know, when I was, like, interviewing for my jobs and stuff when I started this career, I never really cared that much about research or that kind of stuff, and people would be like, "What are your career goals?" And I'd be like, "I wanna be, like, the person in town that people wanna recommend their friends to, like, my colleagues and their friends," and that's what I said in my
Yeah.
interviews, which I think back now and think is kind of a funny answer,
Well, I feel
but
like you've done that
I
though.
did that. I do. I
Yeah.
think so too, like, my physician colleagues send me their friends and their family and themselves, and I
Yeah.
love my practice. It's a lot of friends and sisters who, like, come. However, the other side of that I was not prepared for and I'm, like, constantly struggling with in, like, a good way, but a hard way too, is that it's so much easier to take that stuff home with you. Like,
Yeah.
I care so much about these people sometimes, and
Yeah.
then that's a good thing, but it's really tough to
Mm.
navigate through life, you know, when you help someone through something really difficult that you care a lot about, and then you're going to field day, you know,
No,
right after.
100%. No,
It's
totally.
very tough.
Very tough. What is something about being an OB that people would be shocked to know?
I actually think that, like, it's hard to we carry a lot of it with us.
Okay. All the
Um,
time.
yeah, and where we work is a little unique in that we see a lot of high risk things and it's really high risk obstetric heavy.
Mhm.
And, you know, a lot of us do a lot of work to take care of each other. We
Mhm.
like share a trauma therapist and we
Yeah.
speak to each other a lot and we're constantly trying to give the parts of ourselves that we need to give to work and then save the parts of ourselves we need to save for home. And that is really, really tough.
Well, I know there are really some dark days
Hmm.
probably
Hmm.
in your job, and I don't want to ask about that stuff here. But is there anything you feel like maybe you wished more people knew or would recognize more? Or again, is it
Hmm.
back to what you just said?
Yeah, I think just what I just said probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
it's worth it. Like I think it's
totally.
important to say it's worth it. Like I said, I think most of us really do like love the work and love the fact that we get to, like I said, just empower women in
Yeah.
their, like, choices and how they're feeling and going through these phases in their lives. Like,
Yep.
it's amazing.
I love that. Okay, well, I I think it's easy to look at someone like you and think, "Okay, she's got it all figured out." But you went through residency,
Mhm.
you got married, you had kids.
Mhm.
Was that all at the same time, right?
Kind of all melded together.
Kind
I
of
got
all.
married in med school and
Okay.
then started residency. I had a baby right before my last year of residency, and then my second baby during my first or second year I wasn't attending. It's wild.
What did that season of life actually do you remember it, actually? Do you
Yeah,
remember?
blocked it out.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was hard. There's parts of it that are still hard, but I got really lucky. Like, first of all, the person I married is wonderful, and, like,
Yeah.
when we got married, we were like, "We're gonna be partners." He has a big career, I have a big career, we have, like, goals, and, I mean, we still argue about who does more chores or who
Mm,
goes to more field days, but, like,
sure.
you know,
In, like, a fun way.
yeah, in
Yeah.
general, like, we really do try to support each other in our careers and the things we wanna do in our lives, like, outside of our home.
Yeah.
And so that's been wonderful. Like, getting married in med school was delightful, not a problem at all. Having a baby in residency, like I said, I wasn't going to do that and then kinda decided to.
Yeah.
And we got really lucky because she was the best baby ever. I
Which
mean,
is crazy, though.
yeah. I mean, she was like a dream.
How much time did you get?
Great question. So that's what I was gonna say next is it's never easy. So I had to go back to work at 8 weeks,
Okay.
and that was really hard because it's just like dropping an 8-week-old baby at daycare is something no one prepares you for. That was really tough. Um, but, overall, she was great and my husband was great. We made it through it. I think the baby I had as an attending was the hardest. My job at that time was like pretty, um, I can't think of a way to say it without using really harsh words. Like, it was not fair the way it was set up.
Sure.
And that was tougher, which is why I kind of like the position I'm in now. I have some leadership roles in my role now, and I try to make sure life is better for everyone who's in this field. So hopefully we
Mhm.
can keep more people in it. But that one was tough.
Would you do it the same way all over again?
Oh my goodness. I feel like probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I think the only difference is back when that job was, like, pretty unfair, I wish I woulda had, like, a mentor or someone in my life to be like, "You don't have to work like this. Like, this is
Sure.
actually not right," which is what I try to do
Yeah,
for people now.
which is good.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to women trying to build a career and a family at the same time?
I love this question. I'm really passionate about this with all my friends. It's like I think riffing off of what I just said before, you have to have good, like, partners in your life. One is the partner I'm married to,
Mhm.
okay? But also I have, like, 4 or 5 solid babysitters who partner with me all the time to take care of my kids.
Yeah.
When my husband has to travel for work, sometimes, with no notice, my mom will, like, come stay with me for a few days if I have an early shift. I have a friend across the street who has recently stopped working and she takes care of me because she's like, hey, school's doing this, like send in
Yeah.
this permission slip, all the stuff that would slip through the cracks. I have a friend that I hired recently to be a house manager who helps me with like organizing the kids' clothes and all of this stuff.
100%.
And I think like people need to know that if it looks like someone is doing everything, they're not doing everything. I have so many people in my life that help me keep everything afloat. And I only have 2 kids, like,
No, that's
but
such a good
I
answer,
need
and
so
thanks for
much
saying
help.
yeah, because I get it. So, no, I mean, I think that's great. Okay, you kinda already told this story, but I was gonna tell the story. You guys, I was in her office, and there was a woman in labor, and she was, like, grunting or, like, howling maybe. I was like, "Should she be here?" So I get in the office, and they take me back to the room, and I can still hear everything that's going on.
And I did not know this at the time. You just saw her in the waiting room. I didn't know this was happening.
I am like, was I getting, like, an annual
Yeah,
or something?
yeah.
So I'm, like, on the table just giving you a full visual, and who comes in?
My PA.
The PA
Yeah.
comes in, and she's like, "We got a situation." And I'm like, "I can help. I can help. I'm ready to, like, deliver this
Guys,
baby."
Maggie, for real, in her gown, stood up and was like, let's go. Let's go down the hall. Like, she was ready to go.
Like, I'm thinking, like, whatever you need, I can give it to you, you know, like a grazed, like, scalpel, like, the,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. I was like, I can do it.
It was the best.
And that was really, really good. Um, okay, well, those are kind of all of my questions. Before we wrap, is there anything we didn't talk about that you wish we would have?
No, I think the things that I really wanted to make sure people knew was they don't have to shave to come to the office.
Yeah,
HPV is not their fault. And if
it
you,
takes,
yeah, if you want to be a woman and have a career and have a life, it takes a whole lot of people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and the pregnancy piece too.
Yeah,
It's different for everybody.
for sure.
Um, and with all my guests so far, I have given them an opportunity to ask me something. Zero pressure, but
Oh, shoot.
if you want to turn it around, is there anything you would want to ask me?
I feel like, you've given a lot of good answers throughout this so far. Um, what has been the thing that surprised you the most about doing this podcast?
Oh, that's a really good question. It's funny because I'm kind of great timing, actually, that you said
Thanks.
that because, well, before we started recording, I think I said this is going to be like the 37th episode,
Yeah, that's a lot.
which is a lot. And I think it took me just the last couple. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why people say you have to keep putting yourself out there and it
Uh-huh.
becomes more natural. I would say even maybe like 10 episodes, I was like, oh no, I'm getting the hang of it. No, no, I'm just getting the hang of it. I really love it. And I feel like you said, what's the most surprising
Yeah.
thing? Probably it's healing something
Mm.
inside of me
Mhm.
that is I would never have thought that. Just like having these conversations with people, talking out loud. I write all my thoughts down all the time now,
Mhm.
more than I ever have.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
always writing and always like, no voice texting, like in my car, like I just thought of this, and
Yeah.
then putting all that stuff together.
Yeah.
So it's been like a little like out loud therapy
Yeah,
for
that
me,
makes sense.
and I love it.
That's great. I'm glad.
Okay, rapid fire.
Okay.
Don't overthink it. Epidural, yes or no?
Yes. But it's okay if you don't. For me, it's a yes.
Yeah, for sure. Coffee while pregnant, fine or not?
It's fine, just
Okay,
not a lot.
okay. Birth control, love it or hate it?
For the most part, love it if you're on the one that's right for you.
Okay. Do you actually take your own medical advice?
That's trickier. For the most part, yes, but I am like a really terrible patient because I don't like to be down for any amount of time, so I postpone things. But
Okay.
yes, for the most part.
Are you a like sweets or salty person?
Salty.
A morning person or night person?
I have no idea.
Just a 24/7.
Yes, I burn it at both ends. I actually talk with Garrett about this a lot because I'm like, what do you even think if I had the option? Because I start really early because I need to, but then I hang out late because I
Yeah.
like to. I mean, I have no idea.
Okay. Group text or one-on-one texter?
All of it, like the group text and then like the side chat with like part of the group and then like the one person. I can't help it. They're all there.
I love that. What's one thing you do that you tell patients not to do?
Drink espresso martinis, probably.
Okay, I like that
They
one.
bring me joy.
And the best part of your day,
Oh, man. Just like a
like,
regular day.
yeah.
Oh, jeez. Best part of my day. I mean, I feel like anytime I get to hang out, have a conversation like this, like whether it's like with a friend or with my family or whatever, downtime where you get to chat.
Mhm.
That's my favorite. Like one of my favorite hobbies is having a few espresso martinis at dinner. Like I love it. Like
Yeah,
let's have a couple glasses of wine and chat is the best.
I love that. I mean, we just talked about how much we carry as women
Hmm.
and also how different everyone's experience is, even when we're all technically going through the same thing or have been through the same thing. And Sarah, I think what makes this conversation hit the way it does is you're not just showing up for women in one way. You're a mom, you're a wife, you're a friend. You've lived so many versions of life right alongside us all personally. I've been in a Miami nightclub with you. I've been at a 8 a.m. Soul Cycle class with you, and
Barely.
yeah, I almost threw up. And you're the person that I called after peeing on a stick once. I was like, "I'm just didn't take, didn't take, but we tried."
Fair enough.
Like you're in it with us, and that matters. And you said that, so I like love
Mhm.
that that was your ultimate goal, that you're living that.
And I do love that. Like, I love being there for all those moments. I'm like a yes person, and that certainly translates into this work and answering those texts and all of that stuff too.
Something we didn't talk about, which would be a whole nother episode. Sarah is an avid traveler.
I love traveling.
She loves traveling. She always has the best trips. So
Mhm.
we do talk about some of
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
and showing up for in all the ways that you do, not just for me, but for so many women. And if you're listening and this conversation gave you something, whether it's clarity, comfort, or just that feeling of, okay, me too, send it to a friend. Make sure you're following along here and over on Instagram, because that's where we keep these conversations going in real time. Because if you're thinking it, probably somebody's talking about it. Reminder, we are all navigating it, just in different chapters. That's all I got.